mynews.studio.
Today's 2025 1013. Let's start with a big question. Can a country lift millions out of poverty? And could Indonesia's recent push actually change the way the world thinks about fighting poverty?
So, Indonesia's poverty rate is down to 9% now, right? That's the lowest it's ever been. But what actually got them there?
A lot of it comes down to expanded social assistance and targeted economic policies. For example, they really scaled up cash transfer programs like the Family Hope Program, or PKH, and the Non-Cash Food Assistance, BPNT. These gave direct support to vulnerable families and helped improve food security.
Those sound like the kind of welfare programs you see in other places. What makes Indonesia's approach stand out?
It's the way they managed the scale and kept adapting. They kept expanding who was eligible, made sure the benefits kept pace with inflation, and really focused on rural areas, building infrastructure, supporting farmers. One detail, the farmers' exchange rate, or NTP, jumped a lot, which meant rural producers ended up with more real buying power.
So more money in rural communities and better ways for farmers to reach markets.
Yes, that's it. Plus, more people took up work in agriculture, which matters in a country where so many live outside the cities. It isn't just about handing out cash, it's about helping people become more productive.
But was it all just economics? Or did politics play a part too?
Politics mattered a lot. Multiple governments kept putting money into social safety nets and rural projects. And with decentralized governance, local leaders could adjust the programs to fit their areas. So it wasn't a uniform policy everywhere.
That's interesting. Can other countries do the same thing? Or is this really specific to Indonesia?
That's where it gets complicated. Indonesia's success depends on steady economic growth, a big rural sector, and their political setup. If a country has a weaker economy, fewer people in rural areas, or unstable politics, it might not work the same way.
So if a country is dealing with mostly urban poverty or doesn't have much agriculture, they'd need something different?
Exactly. The model needs to be flexible. For countries with lots of informal work and growing cities, the focus shifts. Indonesia's now looking at how to bring informal workers into the formal economy, changing business rules, expanding protections, and offering more job training.
So it's about jobs with real protections, not just any jobs.
Yes, and also updating how they measure poverty, especially in cities, so the numbers reflect what people are actually experiencing. They're even looking at expanding pensions to cover informal workers and older adults, like some Latin American countries have tried.
So there's a lesson here, but also a reminder that the local context really matters. Indonesia's story is impressive, but it's not a simple template.
That's right, but it does show that targeted reforms and inclusive policies can make a real difference. And if conditions are right, they can be scaled up.
It also raises a bigger question. Which parts of this are universal, and which need to be customized?
That's exactly what policymakers are debating. Indonesia's example gives hope, but the details always need some adjustment.
Thanks for explaining it all. There's a lot here for anyone interested in global development.
That's it for today. Indonesia's new poverty milestone is impressive, but the bigger takeaway is about learning how to adapt successful ideas elsewhere.
Thanks for tuning in. This episode was powered by mynews.studio. You can try it out for free.